Welcome to our continuing YouTube video series on employment law. My name is Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal. And in this particular video, we're going to be discussing an important aspect when considering layoffs and terminations from big companies during the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. And the issue that we're focusing on is that even though the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic is of substantial import and it is of major consequence and is impacting people's ability to find alternate employment, and as such can provide the basis for an argument for an extended period of severance. You shouldn't be thinking that this is automatically going to create some enormous windfall and thereby jump into disputing whatever offer has been put forward by the employer, your former employer, by these big companies, and thinking, I'm not going to take it. I'm entitled to 40% more, 50% more. They got to pay me because this pandemic is causing so many people to be out of work. There's no jobs out there, and I'm going to litigate it. Well, you got to take a step back. You can't just jump into this stuff and try to blow up the whole situation and say, I'm going to fight it. You got to have a solid strategy. You got to think before you act because you know what's going to happen. You're going up against a big company, which means you're going up against a big law firm who's going to invariably want to push back, at least initially. So what you need to do is you need to have a solid strategy in place, especially if you're going to go and try to get substantially more money. And that means you got to work with knowledgeable legal counsel and really search out and understand where your angles are. Because it's by finding those additional angles, those additional means to challenge your termination and severance pay package, that you're going to have the means to then build off of the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic and the implications that it has to build a solid legal case so that you can go in there, push hard, and attempt to get what you properly deserve. But simply saying, it's COVID, you owe me more, without understanding the full scope of the situation, without having a game plan, without having more, it's going to be difficult to succeed because they might well have looked at it and said, here's what we typically would offer, and we're already bumping that up by 20%. And that may be a legitimate basis, all facts considered. Have you considered all the facts? Have you considered all the law? Have you considered all the various angles? And most importantly, have you considered the issue of not taking the package and having to fight it and possibly being denied, possibly having to spend lots of money on legal fees? Have you considered that in your whole thing when you blow up the whole situation? The fact is, the situation might well deserve to be blown up. But if you're not going to blow it up correctly, you're not going to get the results you want. Like I know I'm using an explosion analogy right now, but the thing is, if you place the bomb incorrectly, you're not going to get the reaction you want. You need to place it correctly. You need to understand where it needs to be positioned so it has a maximum effect and creates maximum results for yourself. So, having been terminated, having been laid off, having been fired, having been otherwise dismissed in the midst of this COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic is very problematic. It provides a means, if you have the right strategy, the right plan, to get more out of this. But there has to be more than simply saying, I'm not accepting COVID-19, give me more money. You need to have a far better strategy. That's what the importance of legal counsel comes to this whole thing. And it's not just one lawyer. Oftentimes, you might want to get a second and third opinion. You might want to understand what each one perceives as the opportunities that are available, where they can foresee money, what the challenges are, what the risks are, what the rewards are, how they're going to approach it, and then make your determination as to whom you are going to engage from a legal counsel perspective and push this battle forward. What is it going to cost you? What delays could it generate? And how do you intend to fight this? Because it is a problematic situation. It is something that deserves your time and commitment. And it is something that is oftentimes not appropriate. They come up with these ideas or rationales, and they belie it underneath the rubric of COVID-19 or restructuring or the like. And these big companies have lots of money, and they do what they want sometimes, and they do it under the guise of other things. But what you're looking for is you're looking to protect your financial well-being, the financial well-being of your family, and your interests moving forward. So you need to properly consider everything, properly strategize it, work with the right people, and where appropriate, move it forward and aggressively to get what you are properly entitled to, especially in these circumstances of the pandemic that, from the sounds of it, has created your job loss. And now you have to take action for your families and your personal well-being. And that's what a law firm such as our own looks to do and work with yourself on achieving. Thank you.